Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be taking you through what I think of these LV45 wheels by 9velo. These are fully carbon wheels and to be honest, I really like them. So full disclosure, these were sent to me for free to test, but my opinions are my own and they have not seen this video before I release it. So let's jump straight into it. So let's get the specs out of the way first. So these cost $799, which is reasonable compared to other brands in the market for sure. And they weigh 1.3 kilograms. Again, not bad, that's for the pair. And they are disc brake, but they do sell other models which are rim brake if that's your thing. And they do come with a 4-year warranty as well. So before we get into the review, I would just like to mention how I'm approaching it. So the LV45, the carbon wheel set, replaced my stock wheels which came on my Trek Domane. So any comparisons I make between them will be based on comparing the carbon wheel to the stock wheel. So I can't compare this wheel to other carbon wheels. So if that's something you want to hear, then I'm sorry, I can't really help you there. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to talk about the things I like first and then some criticisms at the end. So the first thing is obviously the weight. These wheels are about 1 kilogram lighter when fully set up when compared to my aluminium wheels. And 1 kilogram is quite a big difference in the whole weight of the bike. My bike started at about 11 kilograms and now it's 10 kilograms. So yeah, it is a pretty significant weight saving and I do feel the difference. You mostly feel the difference when you're accelerating from a stop, like coming away from traffic lights or something, and when you're climbing. So if you live in a hilly area, then perhaps these could be for you. It's worth noting they also have a shallower rim depth, which is a bit lighter as well. So if you really care about the weight, then you could even get that one, which is a bit lighter. So the lightness doesn't just affect climbing, it also makes the wheels feel a little bit more responsive. So when you're trying to put down the power, it feels a bit more instant. It's quite hard to describe it if you've never tried these wheels, but you can definitely feel the difference between them. When I switch back to these ones, you definitely feel a bit more sluggish. It's not a huge difference, but you can definitely feel it. You can also feel it when you're going around corners. The carbon wheels are a bit lighter, so in your hands they feel a bit pointier. So if you turn into a corner, you can feel them respond a bit quicker. Again, it's not a huge difference, but something you notice if you ride a lot. Durability, I can say that these are clearly quite strong. I actually had a crash and there was barely a mark on them, which is a sign of a good strong wheel, I hope. So in terms of durability, they seem pretty good. I haven't had any problems with them. They've worked completely fine. No issues whatsoever. Okay, let's talk about some things which aren't so good. And firstly, when I tried to set these up, I thought they were very tight around the tires. That's probably not an issue to do with the wheel itself. It's probably an issue to do with the tire. I'm running GP5000s on them and they were really difficult to get on. So that's something you might encounter if you're using a specific type of tire. But again, not a problem with the wheel, just a tire thing. So when I first received these, all I got in the box was just the rim itself and nothing else. So I had to go to the shop, I had to buy some tubeless tape, I had to buy a tubeless valve. I mean, if you know what you're doing with wheels, you probably have those things already, but I didn't. So that took me about a week before I could get these set up. So they listened to the feedback and now they include tubeless tape pre-installed and it does come with a tubeless valve as well. So that's really good, listening to customer feedback. If you buy these wheels, you'll be ready to go straight away. Definitely good that they're listening to customer feedback there. So thumbs up there, excellent stuff. Okay, so a few criticisms I'm going to talk about now. I live in a very windy place, so I always have a side wind and you can definitely feel the difference between a slightly deeper wheel compared to the aluminium one. It's not a big difference, but it's definitely something worth considering if you're living in like a very windy area with lots of traffic and you just want to make sure you're going in a straight line basically. But it's something worth considering. I'm a heavier guy, so it doesn't affect me as much. So if you're lighter, you should definitely consider whether you want a deep section wheel or not. You can get this in a 35mm one, which is a bit smaller, or a 55 as well. So you should think about that before you choose which depth aero wheel you want. Also, these wheels are not that much faster if you're going over flat ground. I tested them compared to my old wheels and the speed was pretty much the same. The real difference you're going to find with this is when you're climbing, going up and down, when you're in like stop-start traffic and accelerating a lot. So if you're just doing long cruises, maybe you won't see that much difference if you get these wheels, so that's worth taking into consideration as well. Okay, conclusion. So what do I think of these wheels? Overall, I really like them. If I have the choice between my stock wheels and these wheels, I will always use the carbon wheels because they are just a lot better in almost every aspect. You feel a lot faster when you're riding these, you accelerate quicker, it's easier to hold the speed, and you just feel a lot more connected to the road, and the handling is a lot better as well. You feel a lot more nimble. So I do think they're very good wheels, and I think the price is very good. $799 is not bad. However, it's very easy for me to say that because I got these for free, and I'm comparing them to my stock wheels. So it's a different factor if I were to spend my own money on these, and that makes it a much harder question to answer. I think for most people, you probably don't need an expensive set of wheels, and that's because for most of us, I think riding is just a fun, relaxing, leisurely activity. If I were the sort of person who were doing fast group rides every week, or I were racing, I would definitely buy these, but that's simply not the sort of riding I do. When I go outside on my bike, I'm just doing a leisurely ride, and to me it doesn't really matter if I go 28 kilometers an hour or I go 30 kilometers an hour. So for me personally, I wouldn't buy these, and that's not because they're bad, it's just because that's not the sort of riding I do. If you are that sort of person, if you're the sort of person who does fast group rides every week, you want to race people, you want to drop someone on a hill, then these are excellent. These are definitely for you. But for me, not so much. I do really like them, but they are just a bit too expensive for me. I would, however, probably buy their cheaper set of wheels, which is the NV series. This one is LV. They have another series called NV, which is about $200 cheaper. So for me, $800 is a bit too much for a wheel like this. $600 I could just about probably justify for myself. But I do really like these wheels. They are very good. So if you're on the fence about buying a set of carbon wheels, what I would recommend is borrowing some from a friend, maybe someone who's already got a set. See if you can borrow them for like a week or so, and then see how they feel, because some people it's definitely worth it, some people it's probably not. So yeah, it's very subjective actually. It does feel a lot nicer using these wheels, I can tell you that, and I will use them every single time I go on my bike. That's how much better they are than my stock ones. So yeah, it's all about the money really, isn't it? If $800 isn't a lot of money to you, then go ahead, you can get these. They're great wheels. But if it's a lot of money to you, then you'll probably be okay without them. It's also worth mentioning that having a faster wheel set doesn't actually make you stronger, it just makes you faster with the power you already have. So if you're training, for example, if you're training outside, you're doing intervals, having a faster set of wheels won't make you stronger. It will just make you faster outside. And for me, that doesn't really matter to me because I do all my racing on Zwift where everyone pretty much uses the same bike. But if I were to race outside, if I were to start joining group rides, I would definitely recommend having a nicer set of wheels, because when you're going at a high speed, you can hold your speed a lot easier. And if you're accelerating out of corners a lot, trying to keep up with a group, that's where these would make a difference. It's the acceleration and the stopping, which is just so much quicker and easier. So yeah, overall, excellent set of wheels. I really like them, but I wouldn't buy them because it's simply not the sort of riding I do. However, if you are that sort of person who's out riding really fast every week, then I would definitely recommend them to you. Okay, so let's finish up there. I do like to think I'm pretty impartial and honest with my reviews. I hope you think so too. I'm not just like the sort of person who will say, wow, this is so wonderful just because I got it for free. So I hope you can respect my opinion, and it's not just like I'm not just shilling these because I got them for free, but I do think they are very good. Okay, yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all the channel members who have signed up to support the channel. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you to all the subscribers. You're absolute legends, and stick around for more. Hit the subscribe button and I will be taking you on many more future rides using this wheel because it's excellent. All right, peace out.